So we are going to cook today immune boost soup. It's very simple, but absolutely a must when you feel sick or you have the flu, a cold, a stomach virus. This will really make a difference in the time it takes to recover. And it's very simple, and every ingredient has its reason to be in that soup. My background is in traditional Chinese medicine, but I think the love for cooking comes generations. My grandmother, if I can think, my grandmother was an extraordinary cook. My grandfather also loved food. Both of them were doctors, and both of them knew the importance of good food for your overall health, way before it was fashionable or popular. They knew this. My father definitely introduced me the love of cooking Mediterranean food. So his thing is Mediterranean food. He's a chef and he's dedicated all his life to food. So the passion and love for food comes from my family. And then with Chinese medicine and being always in the search of healing tools, from herbs to wellness. So it just brought me to this area of combining my love for cooking and my love for medicine. And you make soups with that. So we're going to start just talking a little bit about what are the ingredients that we're using. The first part is the broth. And this broth, I always have it at home. It's very simple to cook. And the way we cook this is water, fennel, shiitake mushrooms, tamari sauce, and carrots. That's it. And we always have that broth. And that will be the base of the immune boosting soup. Let's talk about the ingredients that are going to go in that delicious soup. So the first thing will be onions, sweet onions I like to use. And I'm combining it with a little bit of shallots. Why? Because I had some shallots at home. And so this will give me the antihistaminic part of the soup. It's also an antibacterial, and especially when combined with the garlic. So these two things, the purpose is antihistaminic. Of course, it's very tasty once we cook it. And that's the first part. Then we're going to add the ginger. Ginger, as we know now, it's very anti-inflammatory. It also helps digestion, and it's very soothing, mostly inflammation. We're going to use it to help decrease inflammation. And in any process where your immune system is suffer, there has to be some inflammation going on. So ginger, it's a must. Sometimes I add turmeric to the soup. That really depends how much you like turmeric, but I do use turmeric. So you can leave it if you really dislike the taste, because it will have a very powerful taste. If you use turmeric, make sure that you always use black pepper, because it's only with the black pepper that the turmeric and the anti-inflammatory properties of the turmeric will be activated. So use a good quality of black pepper when using turmeric. And then we have this absolutely gorgeous root. This is astragalus root, which is the most potent antiviral root that I know. You can have it in an extract form when you're suffering with a virus, but in the soup will just boost the immune system. In Chinese medicine, this is called Huan Qi. It's really the source of qi and immunity. It makes a big difference. The taste, I would say it's very earthy, but not too powerful. So it will blend very well with the rest of the ingredients. And then we have the mushrooms. And mushrooms, the ones that I suggest you use are called shiitake mushrooms. And the shiitake mushrooms, the active, it's called beta-glucan, and it just boosts the immune system. Very powerful. Mushrooms are an extremely health food superpower. So mushrooms are a must here. You can use any mushroom, shiitake being the most powerful for the immune properties that we're looking for. And then we're going to end up with some broccoli, just nice green crunchy broccoli, lots of nice vitamins and minerals and just good fiber. And then some carrots too for that sweetness. So it's very simple, but all the ingredients have a reason to be there. When cooking, always have the intention of giving information to your body. What is it that you're doing? What is it that that food is bringing to your system? So every ingredient has a story and has a healing power. And once you know the characteristics of all the foods, then you can start doing your own blend and your own formula. So the soup that we cook today, the commonality of every ingredient is that it helps the immune system. So that's why we call it the immune boosting soup. But in the same way, anything that you cook with real food, with real ingredients, with real good quality ingredients, will bring something to your health. And that's basically the idea, to cook with the intention and to use food as a healing medicine, because that's what it is. So the first thing we'll do is the broth, the base, the water. And for the broth, it's very simple. You just fill 2 liters of water, or the amount of broth that you're going to do. So you have your water, then you will add your fennel, just fresh fennel. You can use even the leaves, which is the most aromatic part of the fennel, so that is really good. Then you add your shiitake mushrooms. These, they can be dry. If you have them dry, that's perfectly fine. These are easier to find. If your shiitake mushrooms are not fresh and you go to the supermarket and they look sad and ill, don't buy them. I'd rather you have the dry form of shiitake mushrooms. You will add your carrots to that broth too, to give that sweetness. And this is very important. You should always use tamari soy sauce, not just any soy, but the tamari form. And this means this soy is fermented. And fermentation, especially now, it's very, very good for you, for the immune system. So it means has the good bacteria in there. It's easier to digest, and it's just a better quality of soy sauce. So don't buy any sauce, buy the organic tamari sauce for a better broth. And then you just add all the ingredients at the same time, and then you let it boil for 30 to 40 minutes, very slow cooking process. And once you have that done, then you will get rid of all your vegetables and just stay with that broth, that liquid, which will be the base for the immune soup. Again, this, you can easily freeze this for later, and that broth can be used in your lentils, in your chickpeas, in your quinoa. It's just a very tasty liquid and infused with goodness. So we are going to start and add the onions, the shallots, and the garlic. This should be your only olive oil that you used. Organic, first cold press. It must be first cold press. It means that never before has been heated. This is the first time that it's going to go through heat, so that omega-3 is intact. So we want that. Even it smells very peppery and delicious. So we're going to wait a little bit until it heats up, and then we're adding the onions and the shallots. Your garlic. And we are gonna let that caramelize a little bit. so that we release those sugars. The onion is translucent. We are now ready to add the ginger. Now, how much ginger? You add as much ginger as you can tolerate, as you like. Let's say for 2 liters, we just added 2.5 tablespoons of ginger. I love ginger. I don't mind ginger. Some people do. I love ginger. So it just will give a very nice taste to the soup. We are now adding the carrots. Smells good. I'm gonna now add the broth. So we had the broth. The broth already has a lot of flavor, from the fennel to the soy, the mushrooms. Everything gave a lot of flavor to that broth. I'm gonna let it simmer a little bit. So at this point, if you like to use the turmeric, you can. Very small amount. I mean, you need really very little turmeric here because it will change the taste. And so we add a little bit of turmeric at this point. And remember, if you are using turmeric, the best way to activate the anti-inflammatory properties of the turmeric is to add a little bit of fresh grounded black pepper. Not too much. You don't need too much. Just a little bit. Fresh is the key. Black pepper that has been in your pantry for years, don't use it. Fresh. So now that it's started to boil, your soup, now is the time to add your astragalus root. 2 will be more than enough. So this root, you'll find it in any Chinese store, Chinese market, or of course, Amazon has it. So fresh, it's important. It smells fresh. 2, it's more than enough. You just leave it there. It will boil. It will do its work. You will add then your shiitake mushrooms. What we're doing, again, it's an immune boost soup. So this will really help you fight viruses, bacteria, anything that your body needs more strength. This soup will definitely give you then that strength. We're gonna add a little bit of, actually we can taste it. It really depends on your broth. So if the broth is missing a little bit of soy, and because we didn't use any salt here. So I think the best way to do this is to taste it. So yes, it definitely can, I can add a little bit more of soy, not too much. But we add the tamari sauce just to give it a little bit of salt. And then you taste it again, and it's, you know, the quantity, it's completely up to you. So it's looking very good. And so we let this work for a little, we'll let it do its magic, and so that all the ingredients get combined and blend. So the soup has been simmering for 20-25 minutes, and it smells delicious. It got a little thicker, but you can even smell that all the tastes have blended. We're gonna add broccoli. I think I overdid it here on the broccoli, so we're gonna do, it really depends on your broth. So not too much, just give that color. Again, I don't like to overcook my broccoli. So it's a matter of taste too. But I like my greens to always be al dente, never overcooked. That's a matter of taste. So yeah. So this is the immune boosting soup. It's very easy and very hearty and delicious, and it's perfect when you're not feeling 100%. This will definitely help you on your way to recover. We are now taking this to be served. We're gonna pour a little bit of all the goodies. Make sure you have all the colors in that soup. Just don't pour the astragalus root. That's the only thing I don't recommend you to chew on. But the rest, it's perfect. I like to end it with a little bit of chives. And I love the leaf of the fennel. It's perfect.